Hey there, welcome back to True North Reviews. My name is Ryan, and today we'll be doing episode 5 of Hot and Cold. I'll be looking at any songs released from July 15th all the way up until July 21st, 2018. So kicking it off with the hot tracks, starting off with Chance the Rapper. He released 4 singles last week, and the first one I'll be looking at here is Workout. And this song centers around the yearning for your old life, yet still appreciating your current moment of time and respecting to keep everything the same as it is. With such a unique, nasally, and slightly raspy tone of voice, this track plays right into Chance's wheelhouse for his vocal range. It's a very soulful track. It might not be as good as some of his material from Coloring Book, but it's still a soothing and easy to listen to single, and it's by far my favorite of the 4 singles that he has released in the past week. And don't worry, I will be talking about the other 3 singles, but unfortunately they end up on either the middle of the road or the cold list of the week. Moving forward, I didn't really expect this one. This was a curveball because Imagine Dragons haven't really been putting out much good music lately. And they released the song Natural, which is another post-single to support their Evolve album that they put out last year, at least what I can tell from the artwork. But yeah, this Evolve cycle saw its last entries with the gospel-infused single of Next to Me, and then we got the underwhelming electronic collaboration with Kygo, Born to Be Yours. I wasn't a big fan of either of those tracks, but disregarding them, I wanted to give Imagine Dragons a clean slate, knowing that they have had their moments to shine in the past. Notably on this new song, Natural, it calls to mind a track like Rise Up, with the clamored vocals bathed in rage and vexation, also the urban contemporary kind of instrumentation and production as well. There's even a keen attention to detail with the spacing of the audio, as the counter melody of the guitar is panned to the left speaker. Boom. I also take a liking to the cranks and chimes of the hi-hat and how it revises itself, with each section of the song going from the standard hi-hat shimmer to the rim clicks on the snare by about the second verse. I'm also a fan of the vocal performance in the verses and the bridge. It might be hit or miss for the chorus for now, but I really do like how the verses and bridge accompany the keyboard and the acoustic guitar. And the outro of the song pays off as all the elements, including some strings, erect and intensify in an impeccable synergy of fury. But lastly, I never really thought I would see an Imagine Dragons song on the hot list. Yeah, I didn't really like Evolve at all. But moving on, Something Human by Muse lands itself on the hot list as well. And I checked out the music video for this, and it comes off as a little Terminator-ish, except searching to return a Blockbuster video. Essentially, the idea for the song is hunting for something human, and the folky acoustic guitar with the techno drums and the synths is still a weird combination for me. I'm still a little indifferent to it, but this is what makes it hot for me. It's ironic to have the processed alien-like vocals in a refrain of saying human, but the acoustic guitar resolves any of that irony right before the second verse as it pops in and out of the mix. And speaking of the mix, there's a lot going on in this song. The frequencies can sound a little jarring sometimes, but if you listen closely enough, there should be something different to look for with each and every listen. Now for the lyrical department, Muse hasn't really been known for that over the years too much, with either thought-provoking lyrics or being very creative outside of their aims to talk about the bigger kind of topics with war and absolution. But the lyrics in the second verse of Something Human, they impress me, manifesting itself underneath the sonic tendencies of the instrumentation. And lastly, there's a nice eerie synth solo, and the bridge kind of sounds like a theremin. Now moving on to the middle of the road tracks, the first one I've picked here is by the 1975, and it's called Love It If We Made It. This is the second single for their forthcoming album. I still prefer the first single, Give Yourself a Try, since this new one seems a little one-dimensional in the melody. Production-wise, it is an improvement over Give Yourself a Try, with the vocals feeling a little more balanced with the rest of the band members. But I think that the song will take a few more listens for me to really start to enjoy it. Another second single for our forthcoming album is Brockhampton's 1998 Truman. Except this one is an improvement over the first single. Yeah, I didn't really like 1999 Wildfire too much. On this new track though, the mesmerizing and wavering bass with the sprinkles of auxiliary percussion and the synthesized sound, almost like a clarinet, coupled with the Don't Talk Back Boy chorus, feels like a newer style of Tyler the Creator track. The form to the song is unpredictable, and its progression is not really interesting, but it's not really boring either. I think I'm mainly impartial to this song still. Moving forward, we get another Chance the Rapper single which lands itself on the middle of the road tracks. It's called I Might Need Security. And this track is filled with clever wordplay as Chance recaps his most recent years in life while getting a little political. However, much like the sample from Cop Shot the Kid from the new Nas record, the FU sample in this new Chance the Rapper song is quite distracting, and it's hard to pay attention without the sample and Chance's rapping clashing in an awkward manner. Next up we have Sour Diesel by Zayn. And who would have thought a hard rock guitar solo would be featured in a Zayn single? Well, maybe he was just following after Harry Styles' footprints with his solo debut album, but give it to Zayn to switch it up by infusing some funk and R&B elements too. From the slap bass to the Stevie Wonder-like keyboard to the flourishes of the other punchy instrumentation, this track really has a lot of great potential behind it, but it's really the vocal performance that really loses it for me. Almost to a point where I question if this was actually one of the singers from One Direction. Like, I know Zayn is a way better singer than what he showcases on this track, and I don't really want to blame it all on him for a lackluster job since the production washes him out. But the song's groove itself doesn't really lend itself to Zayn's melodic style of singing, especially contrasting to his debut album. But hopefully he keeps experimenting with the sound of R&B and funk, as I could see a few songs in the future I could really like them. Now onto the cold tracks. First up is 65th and Angleside by Chance the Rapper. And this one here is a type of song that will be very hit or miss for a lot of his fans, I feel. The refrain on this track is charismatic, but the rest of the song, the delivery on this is just very obnoxious and very unsettling. Like, I do understand the appeal behind it, but this isn't really the Chance the Rapper kind of music I like to listen to. And the other track that ends up on the cold list for the week is Wallacam. Being an ode to Chicago and Wallacam TV network, which showcases performing artists from the Midwest, the song's title really is a close resemblance to the words "While I Can," kind of adding a different meaning to the lyrics of the song. But no matter how good the lyrics are, just like the other single, I Might Need Security, it's the musical aspect of the melody in this thing that pushes me away from it. The repetition of the hook gets on my nerves so much that it feels like this song just never leaves the small little bubble that it makes for itself. Another cold track is by Cab For Cutie, and it's called I Dreamt We Spoke Again. Following up the first single, Gold Rush, for their forthcoming album, this new one here, I Dreamt We Spoke Again, is one of the blandest singles that Cab For Cutie have put out to date. The heavy repetitive hook and the stagnant dynamics make it really hard to point out the form changes in the song structure, and it's really a lifeless effort put forth by the group after such a really good lead single. And yeah, I do understand that this track might have been aiming for the dream state or vibe. That's why it's really so tranquil and reserved in its tone and mood, but it's still a very boring song. And to round out the week, I've picked out Passenger's newest single, Heart to Love. And man, this thing is just so derivative of any other material put out by Passenger, and it's just such an uneventful song that I have a hard time talking about it much longer than what I'm saying here. The only other thing I'll say is that the lead singer plays it way too safe on this song, and his vocal melodies are just very dull and monotonous. And there you have it. There's episode 5 of Hot and Cold. I want to hear from you now. Sound off down below in the comments. Agree or disagree. I'm here to engage with you guys. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. My name is Ryan from True North Reviews. And as always, have a rockin' day. Thanks for watching.